Guys, good morning, everybody, or from wherever you are on the planet. My flight to Antarctica from Chile, which is a 4 hour flight, there's special flights that goes to Union Glacier, got canceled today because of the weather. So we're looking to see if tomorrow we can actually uh, fly down to Union Glacier. So let me actually, now that I'm here, I might as well actually show you exactly what kind of flights are that. So there is a company called Antarctica Logistics and Expedition that they are taking people down to something called the Union Glacier. So as you see here, they have these special planes that they land on the Blue Ice Glacier. So the Blue Ice Glacier is, essentially it's thick ice that they land on that. And the planes and the pilots that they're using, actually, they're from Iceland. So Loftider Icelandic, if you see my screen, these are, a group of, charter planes that they take there. And the reason that they're using them, this is an American company, but the reason that they're using them is that they are really experienced in landing on the ice. They're Icelandic, so. But yeah, this is super nice that they have this big camp down there that they land on the glacier because there is no runaway there. So Antarctica is actually, it doesn't belong to any country. There are countries that they have treaty to protect it. So if you, for example, want to start a company from Canada and do this logistics, you have to get permission and regulation from Canada, and you can do that, anywhere you want. There are some companies that are based, working and based on, for example, South Africa. There are, I think, 3 or 4 companies. The big one is this Antarctica Logistics and Expedition. So these guys are flying us into the inland, and then from inland they provide us another plane that we fly to Vincent Base Camp, and then the camp starts. The hike starts from there. So obviously the wind is a big issue down there. I don't think cold is an issue. The wind is a big issue. So if the weather is not good, so they don't fly out. And the camp, the Union Glacier camp, is actually it's a summer only camps. It's a huge camp that it's a base camp that they have. So they have huge tents, and they're really good. And so this is probably a good picture if it loads properly. So there's a huge tent that they put only for the summer, and then at the end of the summer, they actually, by February, in the mid-February, they're gonna remove everything, and then because during the winter, it's just impossible to be there. Yeah, so that's the Union Glacier camp, and this is one of their main base camps. So they have a lot of services. The people who want to ski across Antarctica, or they want to go to South Pole, or only sightseeing and stuff. So that's the Union Glacier camp. Our company is using their services, so we're at the mercy of their flights and everything. So yeah, so now that I'm extra day here at the hotel, so we got back into trading at that. So AMD, as you know, guys, there's a massive mania of crypto and semiconductors. As long as the crypto is getting hotter, and there is a potential of ETF of Bitcoin, uh, then it gives access to pretty much anywhere in the world with big capital to go trade them directly without really having a deal with the exchange and wallet and everything. So if that one gets approved, obviously there's a lot of capital inflow. I myself might actually buy some because I don't want to deal with the wallets and these cybersecurity issues. But the Bitcoin ETF would be nice. Anyway, so AMD and Nvidia had a massive run. Nvidia is just crazy. Like on a daily chart, it breaks all-time high every single day. Moves from 495 3 days ago. Now it's at trading at 545. So this is a massive breakout. So it's all just because the more demand of semiconductors and their chips and their processing boards. AMD today, AMD was also pretty strong. The 52-week high is at around 150.27. So today, what it did was, hold the previous day close. So I waited for that, hold the previous day close here, bounce back, and I went long for the 1 minute opening range breakup, potentially to get to above 150. So it didn't go, and it collapsed quickly, and I got to stop that. I quickly flipped my position to the short. So again, this is very important that, my theory was I stay long only if it's above the VWAP for the opening range breakup. As soon as it dropped and closed below the VWAP, I got to stop that, flip my position to the short for really getting to S3 and below S3 toward the 2 days ago high at 147. So I hold it for a few minutes. Brian joined me, and suddenly we had this quick pop. This is called the bad trade, or bad print, sorry. So probably there was one transaction happening here, and then the way that works the time and sells is connects all the dots. So if there is one transaction here and then suddenly one here, this line has to come into your chart. So come here popped up, but it wasn't really a just massive move up and down. So it wasn't a continuous candlestick. Just a quick transaction probably happened up there. So I got partial out. I was planning to get out, and I realized that this is actually not a quick squeeze. It's just a bad print then going up and down. So I actually added more back on that at 149.24, and then I did a really nice massive run down it to 147. That was a really nice short on that. Bounce back on this moving average. These are the type of trade that Paris does. I shorted heavily back at 148 above S3, and then we got another drop here at 146.50, which is the S4, and then after that really bounced back to the VWAP. And I wasn't really expecting it bounce back to the VWAP, but it did bounce back to the VWAP. I shorted again back at VWAP, dropped a little bit, covered, and then now it's just really going above the VWAP, and it seems that it wants to slowly growing back up to the green. So it was a really nice one loss at the open, and then really nice short that we got at the open. As you see, usually you can get expect a 1 to 5 risk to reward or something like that. In terms of P&L, when you see that, so I had a really $7,000 loss and I got a $22,000 win. So as you see, it's like a 3-to-1 ratio of the win and loss. So even if you get stopped out heavily bad, you can always, with the proper position sizing and proper risk to reward adjustment, you can actually make that loss back. So that is it. So yeah, I mean, if that's my last trading day, so be it. I hold some TNA, 5,000 shares of TNA, sold puts on TLT, and I'm holding the S&P 500, which is VOO with Vanguard. And yeah, probably I'm not going to be able to check my accounts or anything in the next couple of at least 10 days. So which is the time of the climb. We've had some ideas of now that NVIDIA is so extended with Brian, maybe we start setting some calls at 560 or 570. But you can get a couple of really good dollars premium on that. It's a little bit tricky because if it squeezes up, you get a sign and come back, and then you have no internet to hedge or manage it. It's a little bit tricky, so I might actually not do that. So Brian, and another trade that I did was at the open Mara, a small share size, but again, this volatility on the crypto gives this volatility to this blockchain company. So I did opening range breakout. I got a really bad feel on that for some reason. I got out of it with $1,000 loss, as you see here. So I took a smaller share size on Mara. It's not like AMD that you want to take 10,000 shares on that, but really give me a hard time here. And yeah, so that's it, guys. So Brian, I think you had a bad the stop lot at the
Well,
at the open.
I tried to do trade Chewy. It just didn't wasn't cooperating. So I shorted it in the pre-market and then added it to VWAP, and then it just rose above there. So I stopped out right away. So I flipped over to short Tesla. Shorted it at because it was looking weak, and the book was looking quite bearish. So I got a decent short on Tesla, made up for some of my loss on Chewy. And then, yeah, like you said, I traded AMD with you a bit and managed to have an okay day so far.
Awesome.
So
Well,
that
thank
was
you
it.
so much. Yeah, I appreciate that. And again, guys, if I go fly tomorrow, then Brian and Thor and the Paris, and we have Lenny also trades at the open as our senior trader at Peak Capital. So you're in a good hand, guys, and all the best, guys. So again, I might show up again tomorrow, depending on the flight situation. Ciao.